The morning light spills softly through linen curtains as Ethan watches Clara pack her suitcase, folding silk blouses like secrets. The smell of her perfume fills the room. Sweet, expensive, foreign. He asks if she'll be back by Friday, his voice careful, almost rehearsed. She nods without meeting his eyes, her smile too precise to be real. In that moment, Ethan feels something shift. Something small, but sharp beneath the surface. He brushes it away, kisses her forehead and tells her to be safe. The door closes, and silence blooms in its place. He stares at her coffee cup, half full, lipstick on the rim, tiny proof she was here. Outside, the city hums, oblivious. Ethan exhales, unaware that he just kissed the last normal moment of his life goodbye. Ethan spends the day working from home, surrounded by the hum of silence. Every corner of the apartment still smells faintly of her perfume. Every sound feels amplified. The click of his mouse, the distant laughter of neighbors. He glances at the clock, imagining her boarding a plane, maybe smiling at a text from someone else. Guilt for thinking it flashes through him, followed by confusion. That night he eats alone, the television flickering across his face like shifting moods. He tells himself he trusts her, but when her arrived safely text finally appears hours later, something in his chest tightens, as if trust has already started to decay. Clara's voice echoes faintly through a short video call framed by hotel light. She looks flawless, almost too polished. Ethan asks how the flight was, and she laughs, careless, distant. Behind her, a blurred male silhouette crosses the room. She claims it's room service. Ethan nods, pretending not to notice the reflection of two glasses on the nightstand. The call ends abruptly, replaced by the quiet hum of his computer fan. He sits there, eyes on the frozen image of her smile, feeling the first real crack form in the surface of their marriage. Sleep doesn't come easily. Ethan lies awake, scrolling through her social feed. No new posts, no photos, nothing to confirm where she truly is. His thumb hovers over her older pictures. Vacations, anniversaries, laughter frozen in digital eternity. He feels the ache of missing someone who might not exist anymore, not as he remembers. He sets the phone down, staring at the ceiling, the glow from the screen still on his hand, like proof that even absence has a presence. The next morning, Ethan wakes to the echo of a notification sound. It's a message from Maya, his coworker. "Hey, isn't this your wife?" Thought she looked familiar. A link follows, glowing like a fuse about to ignite. Ethan's finger hesitates above it. Outside, sunlight fills the room again, deceptively calm. He clicks, and the screen begins to load, buffering between truth and ruin. The last frame of Act 1 freezes on his reflection in the monitor, calm, unaware, seconds before everything breaks. Ethan stares at the glowing screen, the link open, buffering. A familiar laugh drifts from his speakers, echoing across the room like a memory turned cruel. Then the image sharpens. Clara, radiant in a white sundress, standing on a sunlit balcony overlooking the ocean. But she's not alone. A man's arm slides around her waist. He's tan, confident, maybe late 30s. Their laughter feels unrehearsed, intimate, the sound of something real. Ethan's pulse slows to a crawl. His mind tries to reject what his eyes already know. He leans closer, numb, watching her tilt her head toward the man, not with guilt, but affection. The live stream's chat scrolls with hearts and emojis. The world is watching her happiness. Only Ethan knows it's built on betrayal. He replays it again, then again, as if repetition could change the truth. Every frame feels like a wound reopening. Her laughter, once his favorite sound, now cuts deeper than silence ever could. Ethan notices small details. The gold necklace he gifted her, the one she claimed she forgot at home, now resting against her skin. The villa's caption reads, "Paradise Escape, sponsored livestream." His stomach twists. She didn't just lie. She monetized the lie. Thousands are watching, cheering, loving her, while he sits in the dark, unseen. The sound fades, replaced by a ringing in his ears, the kind that comes right before something inside breaks. Night deepens and Ethan's apartment becomes a cave of digital light. He scrolls through Clara's social page linked to the stream, posts of luxury, captions about self-love and empowerment. He laughs bitterly, the sound hollow. Each photo feels like theft, every smile a crime scene. He screenshots everything, the chat, the comments, the timestamps, like a detective collecting evidence from the scene of his own execution. For a moment, he sees her looking into the camera directly at him. He knows she isn't, but still, it feels like she knows he's watching. Hours pass. Outside, rain begins to fall, soft against the window pane, but Ethan doesn't move. He watches the final seconds of the stream. Clara raising a glass to the camera, saying, "To new adventures." The man beside her leans in, whispering something that makes her blush. Ethan pauses the video right there, her face frozen in mid-laughter, his reflection layered over hers. He feels something heavy drop inside his chest. Not rage yet, not even grief. Just the weight of recognition. The truth has shape now, and it looks nothing like love. When the screen finally goes black, Ethan sits there, silent. The room feels heavier, the air too thick to breathe. He stands slowly, walks to the window, and stares out at the wet city lights. Every reflection reminds him of her, unreachable, shimmering, false. His hands shake as he closes the laptop, the click echoing like a closing casket. In the glass, his reflection stares back. A man betrayed, erased, reborn in the ashes of trust. He doesn't cry. He simply whispers to no one, "Okay." That word carries no acceptance, only the quiet promise of something cold and deliberate forming inside him. Ethan doesn't sleep. He sits in the glow of his computer, replaying the live stream until it becomes noise. The betrayal seeps into his bones like winter. At 3 a.m., he starts digging. Searching Clara's profiles, her emails, her tagged photos. He finds another name. Clara Vance, her influencer alias. Thousands of followers. A life polished, filtered, and entirely foreign to the woman he married. The captions are cryptic but alluring. Find someone who matches your frequency. Ethan stares at it, his chest hollow. For years, he thought he wasn't enough. Maybe he was just invisible. Now, invisibility feels like armor. Morning creeps through the blinds, thin and gray. Ethan's desk is a battlefield. Coffee rings, screenshots, notes scrawled in half-legible fury. He finds transactions in her banking app, hotel bookings, gifts, transfers labeled marketing expenses. His hand trembles as he scrolls, each detail another confession she'll never make. He remembers the woman who used to write him love notes on sticky paper. Now he's reading her digital sins. The contrast is cruel. The same hands that once held him now holding lies. He laughs under his breath. The sound is hollow, but human again. By afternoon, obsession replaces pain. Ethan creates a folder titled Truth. Inside, he stores everything. Live stream clips, financial records, screenshots. Each file is a fragment of the person she pretended to be. He scrolls through her followers and finds Adrian Cross, her boss, always tagged in subtle ways. A glass of wine reflected in her post. A watch matching his. Patterns emerge clean and deliberate. This isn't random. This is a double life built with precision. Ethan leans back, staring at the evidence. Somewhere beneath the anger, a thought forms. If she can build lies this perfectly, so can he. That evening, Ethan calls Maya. His voice is calm, almost too calm. He asks what she knows about Clara's company, about the executive retreats. Maya hesitates, but mentions seeing Clara at a party months ago with the same man from the stream. Ethan thanks her, his tone steady. After the call, he sits in silence. The pieces are falling into place too easily. He pulls up Clara's corporate site, her press photos, her public bio. Each word feels like a lie carved into marble. He whispers her name once, softly, as if calling to a ghost. Near midnight, Ethan opens a blank document. His cursor blinks in the center like a heartbeat. He begins typing. Not a confession, not a goodbye, but a plan. Step by step, calm and methodical. He writes names, dates, triggers. Then he types her alias. Clara Vance. He stares at it for a long time, the letters glowing white against the black screen. Outside, thunder rolls across the city, soft but certain. Ethan's reflection in the glass looks older, harder. The grieving husband is gone. What remains is something colder, the architect of her undoing. Ethan wakes with clarity for the first time in weeks. The grief is gone. What remains is purpose. He spends the morning cleaning the apartment, not out of peace, but preparation, creating calm before the storm. On his laptop, tabs line the screen. Legal forums, hacking tutorials, data recovery tools. His eyes are steady now, movements precise. He downloads the stream, cuts keyframes, adds timestamps. Every lie becomes a piece of art. Curated evidence. For the first time, he isn't reacting. He's directing. Somewhere in the stillness, he whispers, "You wanted an audience, Clara? I'll give you one." Ethan visits Clara's office building under the guise of bringing her forgotten mail. The receptionist greets him warmly, unaware of the weight he carries in his briefcase. He notes the cameras, the layout, the staff routines. Her desk smells faintly of vanilla. The same scent from the Bali video. He smiles, polite, masking venom behind charm. When he leaves, he glances back once. In that moment, he realizes how small her empire truly is. All it would take is one spark to set it ablaze. Back home, Ethan's wall becomes a map of her deceit. Screenshots, receipts, dates, all pinned with precision. At the center, Clara and Adrian at the Bali villa. Strings connect moments like arteries of betrayal. He studies it silently, eyes tracing patterns. He finds inconsistencies in her travel claims, discovers messages she deleted, and receipts she did. He prints everything, binds it in a folder labeled Proof. He stares at it for a long time, his hand hovering over the cover, then sets it aside with surgical calm. The hunter no longer trembles. He creates a burner account. No name, no photo, just an empty profile with sharp purpose. Using the alias, he starts following Clara's influencer page, commenting simple things like, "Truth always finds its way live." At first, no one notices. Then, a few followers reply. Curious, he posts a blurred screenshot. Clara's hand in Adrian's, recognizable to anyone who's ever loved her. Within hours, the comment section fills with speculation. Ethan watches it unfold like a slow match burning toward her world, and for the first time in months, he smiles. Late at night, Ethan rehearses what he'll say when the moment comes. Not to her, but to the world. He plays her live stream in one window, his own video recording software open beside it. The two screens face each other like dueling mirrors. He speaks quietly, each word deliberate. "I loved a woman who performed even when no one was watching. Now, everyone will." He saves the file, renames it the Truth Stream. Amp-Four. The rain outside grows heavier. The city lights blink in rhythm with his heartbeat. Tomorrow, the countdown begins. The door clicks open, and for a heartbeat, it's as if nothing ever broke. Clara steps inside, her perfume drifting ahead of her, suitcase wheels humming across the floor. "Missed me?" she asks lightly, as if 3 days could erase 3 lies. Ethan smiles, faint and measured. He helps her with the bag, his touch gentle, distant. The apartment smells of lemon and stillness. Too clean, too calm. Clara talks about meetings, presentations, the exhausting business dinners. Ethan listens, nodding in rhythm, memorizing every word she will later regret. When she finally kisses him goodnight, he closes his eyes, tasting the lie she's perfected. The next morning, Ethan makes breakfast. Pancakes, strawberries, the kind she loves. She smiles, caught off guard by the gesture. "You're being sweet," she says. "I missed this." He nods, placing a plate in front of her. "I did too," he answers, tone soft but unreadable. As she eats, he mentions a funny video he saw online about influencers who fake business trips. Clara laughs nervously, nearly choking. He watches her swallow, eyes steady. He doesn't confront her. He lets silence do it for him. Days pass in deceptive peace. Ethan returns to work, but every evening he plays his role. Attentive, forgiving, normal. Clara relaxes, her guilt fading into complacency, until one night she finds a printed photo slipped under her pillow, her and Adrian on the Bali balcony, smiling mid-laugh. Her breath stops. Ethan from the hallway calls out gently, "Everything okay?" She hides the photo beneath the sheet, heart racing. He appears in the doorway, calm, holding 2 glasses of wine. "You look pale," he says softly. She forces a laugh. "Just tired." He hands her the glass, their fingers brushing, hers trembling. Clara grows restless. She checks her phone more often, deletes messages, changes passwords. But Ethan's silence terrifies her more than confrontation would. He begins leaving little reminders. Her necklace placed in strange spots, screenshots printed and folded into her notebooks, an unfamiliar email notification that vanishes before she opens it. Each act is gentle, calculated. When she asks if something's wrong, he smiles, just making sure everything's in its place. She can't tell if he means the house or her life. By week's end, Clara can barely sleep. Ethan remains impossibly calm, reading, cooking, humming softly in the evenings. One night, she catches him watching her reflection in the mirror while she brushes her hair. Their eyes meet through glass. Neither looks away. "You've been different," she finally says. "Maybe I just see things clearly now," he replies. She turns, but he's already walking out of the room. The sound of his footsteps fades, leaving her staring at her own reflection, the image of a woman unraveling beautifully and completely. The day of the corporate gala arrives. Clara wakes early, dressing with the confidence of a woman who believes she's safe. Ethan helps her zip her dress, his fingers steady, his voice soft. "You'll be amazing tonight," he says, meaning every word differently. She leaves for the event in a rush of perfume and practiced charm. The moment the door closes, Ethan opens his laptop. He uploads the final file, the truth stream.mp4, and sets its release to coincide with her keynote. He leans back, exhales. "Showtime," he whispers. The ballroom gleams with chandeliers and laughter. Clara takes the stage beneath a cascade of applause, the picture of success. Ethan watches from the back, blending into the crowd in a dark suit. Her voice carries across the room, confident, rehearsed. Behind her, a massive LED screen glows with the company logo. She talks about trust, transparency, authenticity. Ethan's fingers tap his phone, sending a quiet signal. The screen behind her flickers once, then again. The logo vanishes. Her laughter, frozen mid-sentence, becomes silence. The screen shifts. The audience murmurs. Then the images appear. Clara and Adrian on the balcony in Bali, laughing, kissing, toasting under candlelight. Gasps ripple through the room. Clara turns, confusion melting into horror. Her microphone picks up her breath, sharp and uneven. On every table, phones light up. the live stream spreading across social media in real time. The sound of whispers swells into a storm. Ethan watches without blinking. Around him, the world catches fire exactly as he planned. Security rushes forward, trying to cut the feed, but it's too late. The video loops. Clara's perfect image dissolves into pixelated betrayal. Mr. Daniels, her CEO, stares at her with open disgust. Adrian slips quietly out the side door. Clara's voice cracks. It's not what it looks like, but the crowd's silence answers for them all. Ethan walks out, unhurried. As camera flashes erupt behind him, he doesn't look back. The sound of her voice calling his name fades beneath the roar of her own unraveling. Outside, night air greets Ethan like absolution. He walks down the marble steps as chaos swirls behind him. Phones buzz with notifications. The video already trends worldwide. For the first time, he smiles, not cruelly, but with quiet relief. Revenge hasn't healed him, but it has emptied him. He lights a cigarette he doesn't plan to finish, watching the smoke fade into the cold. Behind him, the ballroom doors burst open. Distant shouting, flash photography. Ethan keeps walking. He doesn't need to see the ending. He already wrote it. Weeks pass. The apartment feels larger now, quieter. Clara's belongings are gone. The perfume, the clothes, the framed smiles. Ethan spends his mornings by the window, coffee in hand, watching the city move without him. He's not angry anymore, just weightless, like a house after the fire's gone out. Online, the video still circulates. Her name trends, her sponsors vanish. Sometimes he wonders if she watches herself the way he once did, through glass, half believing the person she sees. But he doesn't check. Some ghosts deserve to fade. Across town, Clara tries to call him. Each attempt ends in silence. Her messages pile up, apologies, explanations, desperation disguised as affection. Ethan reads none of them. He deletes her name from his contacts, but her number remains in memory, like an old scar beneath healed skin. He visits the old cafe they used to love, sits at their table, and orders for one. The same song plays through the speakers, a cruel echo. But he doesn't flinch this time. Closure doesn't announce itself. It just quietly exists when pain stops needing a witness. At night, Ethan revisits his recording setup. The laptop glows in the dim room, the same space that once held fury. Now, it holds only silence. He opens a blank recording window, clicks record, and speaks softly, almost to himself. Sometimes betrayal isn't the end. It's the beginning of remembering who you were before you loved the wrong person. His tone is calm, steady. He looks into the lens, not for revenge this time, but release. When he stops the recording, he saves it as final. .mp4, uploads it to her old channel and closes the lid. The next morning, his video trends quietly. Not viral, not explosive, just enough to be found by those who need it. Comments appear from strangers. This saved me. I know this pain. Ethan reads them without attachment. He realizes that revenge wasn't his story's end. Understanding was. Somewhere, Clara is still trying to rebuild what's left of her name. But he no longer cares. He closes the laptop, opens the window, and lets the morning air flood in. It smells like rain. Like something new. That evening, Ethan walks to the river where he and Clara once took photos during happier years. The air is cool, the water dark and endless. He watches the reflection of the city ripple across the surface. Broken, beautiful, alive. He takes a deep breath, slips his wedding ring from his finger, and tosses it gently into the water. It sinks without a sound. For the first time, he doesn't look back. The past is gone. The performance is over, and what remains is only him, quiet, whole, and finally free.